action-packed week this has been indeed. There is no other word to describe it pretty well apart from that. It's really been action-packed, both for me and also for the entertainment industry as well, and that's what makes it interesting, as I should say. And first off, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for really supporting Ugandan Juice, both on AfriPods and on YouTube. It really means a lot to us, and it's you that makes us what we are. Yeah, it's just because of you that we are doing what we are doing. You keep us motivated and every other thing. Well, I'll just like to dive straight in. And the first thing is Zari's wedding. Well, this wedding has been the talk of the town ever since the countdown was started up by Zari herself, where she promised us that she would be wedding her lover and her boyfriend, as you would say, that's King Bay, who she likes to call Mr. M as well. And it's been a really confusing affair when the final day really reached, because it was on Mandela Day, that was on Thursday, and most people expected it to be more of a court wedding, like some would say, but well, there is no single government institution that would be working on a public holiday. Really, yes, the registrar of marriages wouldn't be working on a public holiday. So most people were shocked and were saying, well, why is Zari's entire clique posting about this wedding, that it happened, and congratulating her, yet we expected it to be a civil wedding, which wouldn't happen on such a day, a public holiday. And others went on to say, well, maybe it was just a harusi. Yeah, like Zari would argue, since she's a Muslim, maybe it was nikah. Well, there are many forms of weddings, but most definitely it is not the Baganda or the Ganda traditional wedding, because Okwanjula wedding is a more opened up wedding, I should say, with many people in attendance. Or maybe a Kuchala would be, but then that would be happening in Uganda, where yet none of them came down to Uganda. So it's a confusing affair in simple terms, I should say, the entire Zari wedding thing. But all her friends were wishing her a happy marriage and all that. And she also posted a ring that is argued to be a $200,000 ring. Yes, $200,000 US ring. But well, Zari's stuff is just like that, confusing all the time. But to me, I really think there is something we are not knowing. We are not being told in this entire affair. Because Zari is not the kind of person to hide things that are nice in her life. She always likes to show everyone that she is fine and doing really well. She always loves to disprove people who don't believe in her. And I really think there's something that we have not yet known. There's something we are missing, and at the point it happens, that's when I really believe this entire affair of King Bay and the wedding and everything, really it's more of a roller coaster, and I wouldn't like to overindulge anyway. Well, on the other side, Chameleone. Now, Chameleone has actually found the fate of most politicians in Uganda. He has faced jail. He was arrested just after meeting Bobi Wine. And this has happened after he has revealed that he's no longer going to stand for mayor. And it's a weird thing to happen, because at first people expected him to be sticking to his guns, though others were arguing, because they know him as someone that changes his decisions every after a second. He's more like his name, Chameleone. He keeps changing his colors every time. And many expected that this time, when it came to the Lord Mayor thing, he was not going to back down and he was really going to stand. But since this race has been tight with the likes of important people like Latif Sebagala, strong opposition politicians like Arias Lukwago, strong people in the army and government like General Tumukunde, very powerful people were standing for the same post, were vying for it. So it was not a big shocker anyway to me personally that Chameleone actually decided to chicken out of the race, and now he has announced that he is standing for MP in Mityana North against Chiwanda, who is the tourism minister. But well, after this entire thing, when Chameleone was released, he decided to tweet this naye abantu bafusa abantu kale. That's a lyric from Mozi Radio and Weasel's song Ngenda Maso, which translates to people have become people. Like, people are hard. They're not easy. And the thing of a sort, because the song talks about haters that make it hard for you to live. Well, let's hope that Chameleone will be fine. And in that very same situation, photos of him and Bobi Wine, old photos from the early 2000s when they were together smoking joints of weed, began to circulate again. Just weird in that very same situation. But anyway, that's Chameleone for you. And then the Shook Rains, they're making us proud ever again and again, every single time. And this time around, it's the Netball World Cup. And the thing that has happened and made most headlines in this entire thing was their continued wins, and then the biggest win against Scotland, which made BBC post "so close" as the caption. Uganda had won the game 52 to 43. That was Scotland's 43, and BBC went on to caption that "so close, full-time Uganda 52, Scotland 53, a physical match from start to finish." Well, most people were not happy with BBC's point of this match being so close, and one of them was Rudende, a media personality formerly at XFM and now at NBS TV, who said "so close, not even Gulabe," and that was just like the most calm comment among all the comments that were aimed at BBC for failing to give credit where it's due, because even in the very photo that was used, there was a Scotland player trying to make a basket. I don't know whether they call it baskets in netball anyway, but yeah, so people weren't happy with how BBC really treated this. They clearly, most Ugandans were feeling like the netballers were not given enough credit. But yeah, well, Face Up right now. Well, if you don't talk about Face Up, then I don't know what you talk about. Face Up has caused problems all over the place. Celebrities from all over the world have been forced into this entire Face Up. Sometimes it's not even them putting their pictures there, but any other person can put your pictures into the Face Up. And people like Mesut Ozil, Megan Rapinoe, that one was weird. They used Mesut Ozil's face and turned it into a woman, and then they captioned it as Megan Rapinoe. Megan Rapinoe is that famous footballer, the American footballer. She's a woman that plays football in America, or Americans call it soccer anyway. Yeah, Megan Rapinoe. And we've seen here in Uganda Fresh Kid. Yeah, we've seen many renditions of Fresh Kid where he's old, where he's really old, where he has a lot of beards, and we've seen renditions of Apaz, and Apaz made one, a nice one for himself, a flattering one, and then his fans actually made for him a really not flattering one, and that one made him post and say, "Really, Ugandans, I don't know why you hate me this much." And it has now gone viral, and it owns access to over 150 million people's faces and names, apparently. And according to their user agreement, the company owns a never-ending, irrevocable, royalty-free license to do almost anything with the photos the way they wish. And many of America's media outlets have decided to really bash this Face Up. They're trashing it badly and making bad publicity about it. But it's not the first app to really take people's privacy, because there were arguments of Facebook selling people's data. There were arguments all those American companies, and it wasn't a big deal. But Face Up, in which even you didn't have to log in, it's being bashed a lot. And come to think of it, it's a Russian app. So I don't want to go all political, but many people think that it's being dissed because it's just a Russian app, and it's being hated because of that reason. But it has no problem, because almost all apps ask for people's data. They use it even without asking. They make you sign agreements such that you could use the app. You even don't have to read nowadays because you really want to use the app anyway. So it's just a one-sided thing. You have to say, yes, I accept, such that you could use the app. Yeah, but Face Up doesn't even do logins anyway. That was Face Up for you. And then Nwagi has a saga of schoolboys at SMACK. SMACK is St. Mary's College, Kisubi, and it's one of the very first secondary schools that were built in Uganda. It's a church school, and it's one of those traditional schools that they would make you feel proud of, like you went to SMACK. If you say that, like, you'd be proud, just like King's College Budo, just like Namilyango, just like Namagunga, just like Gayaza High School, all those schools like Chibuli, Nabisunsa Girls. Those are traditional schools that you talk about, and people will be like, yeah, you really went to a school. And when Nwagi was called to perform at SMACK, and one thing that she did there has caused really an outrage from most parents of SMACK. And what she did was to rubber dub them. It was just a simple video. Normally it would be normal because we do that a lot in high school, but the only problem is posting this stuff and making parents actually see it, because parents would just guess that their kids, whenever they get parties at school, they dance with each other, girls dance with boys and do some rubber dubbing together, and then the music is done and it ends, but they never see it, so they would never guess how it happens. But this particular raw video, when Nwagi posted to her Snapchat, rubber dubbing girls, her and her dancers were really not girls but boys. Remember, SMACK is a boys only school. It's a single sex school, and you know how those boys are so excited when they see girls or women. It was a very, very happy moment for them, but it wasn't a happy moment for her as well. Her label, Swangs Avenue, decided to even post on Facebook and all their other social media platforms apologizing for the thing that happened. Really, Nwagi is not in a good position right now because everyone is just hitting her, and well, we really hope it gets better. And I don't know why this should be a very big issue, because almost all Ugandan schools have such things. Whenever there's a danke, we call them dankes, people actually rub each other. When there's a musician who decides to come and dance with students, yeah, if the musician doesn't dance with the students, well, you realize they would call her boring or something like that. You can't come to dance to sing for high school students and not give them a chance to dance with you. But this was raw, and the only mistake I think that Nwagi made was post this on her social media. That video was never supposed to be posted, in my own opinion. And I really understand the angle of Swangs Avenue and the parents, because as a Ugandan norms and tradition, it's not allowed to really do such raunchy dances, and doing them with minors is really a no-no. It's a no-no. So it's understandable why parents and various people are criticizing Winnie Nwagi, but if it were up to me, I'd really say it's not a problem. Those boys have done really worse at socials, when they go out, at events, when they go to other single girl schools, when they meet together, they've done really worse, and it's just a dance. Well, that's just me, my opinion. But yeah, anyway, I think that's all from me this time round. Just that I had things happening here around, and that was Sevo. He went to Tanzania, northern Tanzania, when John Pombe Magufuli, the president of Tanzania, was launching something in his district of Chato, and he made the people speak Runyankore. Well, when I watched this video, I was impressed, but then I tried to remember my own history, that many tribes in Uganda, mostly southern Uganda and central Uganda, actually originated from northern Tanzania, and many tribes in northern Tanzania actually originated from central and southern Uganda. Like in Buganda, there is something called Buziba, where the Baziba come from. So normally that is in southern Tanzania. There's a word Obuziba Benyanja, beyond the lake. That means beyond Lake Victoria, and beyond Lake Victoria is actually Tanzania. So Museveni was impressed when these people would greet him back in his own language, and he told the guys, well, these guys know my language. Yeah, anyway, that was just a thing that made me happy for that week. Well, that's all from me right now, and if you found this interesting, please give me a thumbs up, and you could give a comment on anything you would like to know or to be clarified. And well, see you then. See you when I see you.